Welcome to Kitchen 143. I am your host, Michelle Aventajado, your resident Momma in Manila, and today we are broadcasting live from Mandaluyong. We're here at the Podium Mall. Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat has invited us to share more about what they do. This mindfully meticulous couple behind this brand has so many wonderful things to say, not just about desserts and not just to share with the rest of the Filipino people, but of course, just about traveling and mindful eating and of course, even farm to table to tummy. So we're here with Chef Ely Salar, and I'm so excited to welcome him on camera to talk about this growing brand. I learned about Pâtisserie Chocolat probably less than a year ago, and since then they've already expanded. So, Chef, would you like to join us on cam?
Hello, Michelle.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. Welcome to Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat.
Yes, so I'm so excited to tell the viewers about the brand, about your vision, even about your travels before, and then of course coming home and wanting to bring so much more to your people, to the Filipinos who may have, not many people might not have such an idea about the different desserts and the different ways we can use are not so humble ingredients, right? So like these are the things that we were talking about earlier when we met. Guys, the Filipino ingredients, the produce that we have, the cacao, of course, right? Which is huge when we're making desserts, right? Tell us about your vision. Tell us about what you wanted to bring home, and maybe even how you began. So let's start with that. How you began when you came home.
Sure, yeah. So when I came home from Canada in 2019, just right before pandemic, I wasn't sure yet that time what I was going to do, but I'm a pastry chef.
Yes.
So during pandemic, actually, in 2020, that's when we started planning about opening a pastry shop.
Right.
So I just wanted to offer nice dessert, good desserts to my friends and family, and good thing everyone loves it, and everyone told us to open a shop. So here we are.
So you listened.
Yes, yeah.
Thank God they listened to the friends and family who, of course, tried all of their desserts. But I know you started with 2 cakes, the Entremet, right?
Yes, yeah.
But you have other products here that you've expanded for the coffee shop, for the bake shop.
Yeah.
That's not just here in the Podium, right? Guys, we're in the Podium, so if you want to stop by and you're watching live from either Rappler's Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube channel, or the Momma in Manila Facebook page, you can come by.
Yes.
And of course, the first 10 kitchen kata can come and try some of Chef Ely's creations. So you started with the 2 cakes, but you have more. Tell us about what you have here, and then maybe we can go around to the case and have a seat.
Yeah. So when we opened this store in Podium in particular, this is the first time we offered our chocolate barks.
Okay.
So we also specialize in chocolates. I love chocolate.
Me
so
too.
we decided to have a display of chocolate barks here, which is homemade.
Yes.
We make in our commissary. So we have 4 kinds. First one, which is my favorite actually.
I think this will be my favorite
Tablea dark chocolate with almond. So this is the cacao is from Leyte that we grow in Leyte.
Your farm.
Yes, yeah, in El Fortunella farm. And then we process it, bring it here to Manila, and then turn it into chocolate.
Right. So is all the cacao that you use for the bark, for the entremets, for the travel cakes, is it all local cacao?
No. It's actually a mix of local and imported.
Okay.
It's just we cannot produce enough to use for ourselves.
Right.
But we're working in it. The dream is actually to make 100% Philippine chocolate.
That's the vision. That's the dream.
For our desserts and chocolates.
I love it. Okay, so we have barks, and we also
have here a dark chocolate wafer crunch.
Okay.
Which is 54% dark chocolate with a nice crunchy texture. And then we have here cookies and cream, white chocolate.
My son would love that one.
Yes. And then we have a milk chocolate praline. So this one has a nice caramelized nuts inside, so it's has also nice texture to it.
I like a little crunch too
Yes, yeah.
sometimes. Okay, before Chef goes on to tell us what else we have, I want to hear from you guys. Do you like dark, milk, white? Right? I want to hear, so go ahead and leave in the comments section what you guys would like to try. So I know we have some breads here.
Yeah. So we have some merchandise now. We just actually started selling this. We have some tablea in there. A lot of people that we offer for our drinks, they also wanted to have their own tablea that they can bring at home. So we started selling this.
So they can make
their own chocolate and, you know,
or
champorado.
champorado.
Yes, yeah. And then we have some wafer crunch there. That's a homemade crunch. This is a lot of our customers really like the crunchy texture from our cake, so we decided to also sell this.
It.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect. So for those of you guys that have tried this already, it's ready for you to pick up.
And we have some artisan sourdough bread, and then we have some brioche as well.
Yes.
And then this is our cake showcase.
This really is the showcase.
Yes.
So for those of you guys that haven't visited Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat yet, when you come, you know, if this is a sight to behold. All the artistry, all of the talent that goes into making such beautifully delectable works of art. You almost don't want to eat it, but I have no problem if it's chocolate, right?
Yes,
So let's I guess tell the viewers a little bit about the different cakes that you have, and then maybe we can go ahead and have a seat.
Sure, yeah. So basically what we wanted to show here is the craftsmanship, the art of making cakes.
Yes.
And at the same time, we wanted to show the love, for our love for desserts.
Yes.
So when we started, we have our Entremet cakes. And then these are our specials actually for Mother's Day. So we have our original flavor, which is the chocolate and the coffee, and now it has the white chocolate flour on top.
Makes it super special.
Yes. Yeah.
So then actually, guys, if you wanted to get something special for mom that was also special for you, you have your cake and you have the flowers on top so everyone can enjoy. Mom will share, I'm sure.
So it's handmade, it's white chocolate, so yes.
Perfect. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
Thank you.
Once we sit down, I also want you to share with the viewers the difference between, you know, a cake and an entremet, right? Because there are specific components to an entremet that many people might not understand or know. And in this case, of course, we're excited that they'll get to see it.
Yes.
So next to the entremets, we have the
and then
petit
we have
gateaux.
the petit gateau. So this is the smaller version of our whole cakes or our Entremet cakes. So it's the same flavors that we offer for our whole cakes. So just smaller portions. So you can have 4 different flavors in a box actually, which is perfect.
Which makes everybody happy, right? Because then everybody can have a little bite of each. And
then we have our gâteau de voyage or travel cakes.
yes.
So when we started, we just had 3 flavors, and now we have 9 flavors.
Fantastic.
So
there are quite a few that you added just recently since I've last been here. So very nice. So those are exciting because you get to taste a little bit. It's perfect for sharing, a little bit in each bite, in each box. Right?
Yeah.
So if someone wants to try the chocolate or the carrot or the strawberry, right? All of the options are there.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in the area and you're watching live from Facebook, from Twitter, from YouTube, or here, you can go ahead and sit. From Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and also the Momma and Manila Facebook page. You guys can go ahead and come stop by and say hello. We want to see you. So, okay. Let's start with the entremets because many people might not understand the technique that goes into this. It's a French technique.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, tell us about the different components.
So first, the difference with our entremet cakes than the regular cake, it has different components, like what you said. You know, a normal cake is just normally a sponge and an icing.
Right.
But this one has different layers of textures. So what we have is normally it's made of mousse, sponge cake. There's a crunchy texture, and then we have some insert. Sometimes we put cremant or some jelly, and then we have a mirror glaze. So it's not your typical icing, which is usually made of buttercream, royal icing, or all of those stuff. But this one is made of mirror glaze, and it's usually made of chocolate.
Yeah. So Chef Eli's tagline here is #everyday made special, and that mirror glaze actually really does make it extra special when you see a cake like this and you know all of the effort and the artistry and of course the talent that goes into creating these desserts. It really does feel special. So guys, if you do want to bring the floral cake home for Mom, she really will feel special, not just on her day, but any day.
For sure.
So the different components, I love for me when I tried that there are the different, for me, what I found important. I'm a texture girl, so I like the crunch, I like the soft cake, and then I liked, whether it was a tangy filling or a chocolatey filling. It's something for me. It's like it can make everyone happy this way.
It's basically an experience.
Yeah. So that experience started with, we have cakes already. So this is one of the new ones.
Yes, Okay.
So, you want to tell us about this one?
So this is our Mother's Day special cake that we just launched just a week ago. So it's a red velvet cake. So when we were talking about what to offer for Mother's Day, and then they said, at first we thought of, they said it has to be floral with pink or red, and I said, maybe let's try something red. So we thought of red velvet cake, and this is a very special cake because it's also one of my favorite.
You love red velvet?
I love red velvet cake. It's simple, and yet it has a very nice texture, especially the sponge. I really like the sponge. So this sponge is made of buttermilk. Okay. So it's not just your regular milk. And then it's also a chocolate sponge cake.
Yes.
And then it has the cream cheese icing to it, cream cheese frosting.
So this is the one on top?
Around it. And then on top is actually a vanilla cremant. So it's made of it's almost like a ganache as well, but we add cream to it and a nice vanilla paste. Yeah.
It sounds delicious. So for those of you that do like red velvet, I'm a red velvet fan as well. This is definitely going to be up your alley and perfect for Mother's Day. This is a new one, but you started with the two. One was the original chocolate Entremet. And then the second was the milk chocolate, the coffee creme brulee.
Yes,
and then the third was the yema, right? My son tried the yema just now. All similar. Are these the most popular? Are these the best sellers?
Actually, until now, our best seller is still the chocolate cake.
Which is what you launched with. Which
is our first product, I think everyone loves chocolate.
Yeah. Who doesn't, right? We all love chocolate. So you launched in the middle of the pandemic. Your family and friends are egging you on to do it. So we're now, almost 2 years later.
2 years,
What you envisioned back then as you started, starting with Filipino ingredients, looking to source as much from your farm as you could, right? So the ingredients you source from the farm are cacao, calamansi, and even ube. One of the newer ones, right? Ube, right? So obviously things have changed. We are now opened up. What has changed about the products you provide?
Well, when we first started, I just wanted to sell cake and showcase my skills in pastry. And then now it's completely different. There's so many opportunities. I think we wanted to showcase now our flavors, our local flavors as Filipinos. And, before, like our cakes was just, we just wanted to basically improve our type of cakes that we offer here in the Philippines. But now we realize that we are competitive enough to showcase to the world that we can actually create beautiful cakes, especially Entremet, using local ingredients.
Yes.
So we always wanted to showcase, especially cacao
Yes.
chocolate. That's why the dream is actually to use more of our local cacaos into our chocolate.
Yeah.
And
So I think this is what, actually, when I was chatting with Chef Eli and his beautiful wife, Giannina, we were chatting about how, in the beginning, it started
Yeah.
out, like you said, let's just sell cakes. Let's sell really good cakes to people and show them that it can be beautiful and delicious and made with local ingredients as well. But I think that one of the other reasons why, of course, I've fallen in love with this brand all over again is that you're so mindful about it and so passionate about the ingredients, so much so that you've even visited some cacao farms and in the area. And, what did you find there? I think that's how, the shift of providing the cakes to making it even more meaningful.
More meaningful, yes, yeah.
Just makes you want to try the brand even more, and of course the desserts even more. So, did you think you were going to get there? Was it like a surprise?
Well, I was surprised actually, especially a lot of people that come visit us that, they said, they actually thought we are an imported brand.
Wow, so they thought the cakes were imported.
Yes, yeah.
Guys, it's all made here. Hashtag proudly Pinoy.
Yes, and then a lot of people didn't realize that it's Filipino. It's very Filipino. We just wanted to, to share our craft, to elevate our skills, but at the same time, showcase our Filipino flavors. And then, so now we wanted to do more with our local ingredients.
Yeah.
We wanted to share this to the world.
Yeah.
Actually, that this is our products. That it cannot be just substandard.
Right.
I think it's very competitive.
Right. So you said competitive twice.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you have plans of bringing a team and competing somewhere? I mean, I know you did this before. You're a chef that has worked all over the world. Tell us a little bit about what you did before you came home.
Well, before I came home, I was working in Canada. I was working abroad for a little while, for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And then I was a pastry chef. I was working in hotels, and then I did some competition, chocolate competition, dessert competition, and cake and stuff like that. And then, I came back here, and now I'm starting to. I have this, passion and urge to share my craft with my fellow Filipino people.
And you do. You do. I mean, we've talked about your staff. I know we got into this debate about whether it's to elevate or is it to educate or is it to empower. I think a lot of times when you see brands who are so focused, they're focused on the product. Of course, we know you're focused on your product. We know you're focused on delivering fresh. Fresh is best, because we talked about that as well. But you're also focused on the people, and I think that's what makes a brand so successful. So
that's actually what changed me when I started doing this business. Like what I said, I thought I was just gonna make cake, but now I get so inspired with my people because I'm really proud to share that I with the brand that we did, it changed their lives, because when we invited people to join our team, most of them had no experience or zero experience. A lot of them actually had very little opportunities to work in professional kitchens. So I started inviting them and trained them. So I'm really proud that all these things that we did, they are the ones doing it now. And then I'm proud with my team as well, because when we started developing our product, before I was the one who is developing it, and now they are doing it. And
so you've empowered them.
Yes,
you've given them a voice as well as the skills.
The skill,
and so I think that's the story here. When you look at a leader in the kitchen, or the head chef, right? The chef, the pastry chef, leading his team. You've empowered them to also play with the ingredients, the very same ingredients, guys. I'm not going to say that these are humble ingredients. Nobody has ube like we do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's not humble at all. Hands up here if you like ube. You guys can leave it in the comments. Of course, we're coming live from the Podium Mall here in Mandaluyong at Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat. So if you guys want, if you have any questions, or if you want to share which desserts are your fave, we want to hear about them in the comments. So okay, so fresh is best. It's all about the people. Sometimes I started to say earlier that sometimes you'll find a brand and they're pushing the brand without taking care of the people. So I think it's really incredible. The last two cakes that we were talking about, the newest additions to the menu, they came up with, they were conceptualized by your team.
Yes, yeah.
So tell us about those two. We saw this one is obviously the red velvet.
Yes, yeah. We actually had a new flavors now from our travel cakes. It's actually the ube, and then we have the espresso salted caramel, and then we have this strawberries and cream. So I had three of my staff in the kitchen that actually developed these flavors, and I just asked them, what are your favorite desserts? What you like to eat? So they work on this dessert. So I was really happy with the outcome. I had very little changes that I did because for the last 2 years they already understand what kind of product that we are expecting.
You want to deliver.
Yeah. So that's our another of our new flavors that we offered this month of April.
Wonderful. Yeah. Will we be bringing any other cakes or
flavors
out? Yeah, we can. So guys, stay tuned. We're still going to be bringing out cakes. While we're doing that, while we're waiting for those delicious treats to come out, let's talk about Giannina.
Yes, yeah.
What's her favorite?
Well, her favorite is actually the carrot cake in our menu. Yeah, it's so surprising because when we were just dating.
Here's the love story, guys. It's always about the love story. We like the love story.
So this is this is actually our red velvet cake. Yeah.
I'm excited I get to try this, guys. I'm sorry. So hers is the carrot cake.
Yes, yeah. A lot of our flavors are actually inspired by Giannina.
Oh, they are.
Yes, yeah.
So does she tell you
what she likes to eat?
Yeah, I'm going to move this. Do I need to move this? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the layers here. Maybe you can describe the layers to us.
So first we have the vanilla cremo on top, and then it has the cream cheese frosting, and then the buttermilk sponge cake, and then another layer of the cream cheese, and then we have the crunchy, we call it feuilletine, or our crepe crunch, the one that we're selling.
That's the one on front, yes.
Yes, and so that's the crunchy texture, and then another layer of this buttermilk sponge cake.
Sponge cake again, so wonderful. I'm going to dig in.
Yeah, feel free.
I'm excited. So when we eat the entremet, we're supposed to have
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Hence, guys, see the way I am taking my bite. What do we call the top?
White chocolate vanilla cremo.
Cremo.
Yes. Yeah.
It's creamy, light. I love the crunch. The vanilla crunch in the near the bottom layer. The cake is delicious, guys.
Thank
For
you.
those of you that really do enjoy red velvet, you should come down and try. Is this one also in the petit gateaux?
We haven't, because we just launched this a few days ago, so we haven't started making the small ones yet, but we will, hopefully after Mother's Day. The reason why we had the petit gâteau, because a lot of people were asking, you have the smaller version, all that. We wanted to get a little bit of everything, so that's why we did that. And then I'm sure a lot of people would also wanted this in a smaller version, especially if they're dining it here,
right?
Instead of getting a whole cake. So yeah, I'm sure we're gonna offer this soon.
So dining in, you can have a petit gâteau, you could have the travel cake, you can also choose to pick up a bigger cake that you want to bring home, but you can also have coffee,
yes,
chocolate, and your signature chocolate.
Yes, yeah.
We'll be trying that too. Okay, I know when we spoke earlier, so for those of us that don't bake or that don't spend too much time in the kitchen, one of the things that you and I chatted about was the difference between compound, chocolate compound, and couverture.
Yes.
Right? And having such attention to the process of even harvesting the cacao.
Yes.
It has to ferment, right?
Yeah.
And then the cacao beans are roasted.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So there's a whole process, guys, in creating the chocolate that you may not even know what goes on behind the scenes.
Yes, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and how, here, this is so beautiful, and how, that affects, what you're making, how you're serving it. And even, the chocolate, because we'll be seeing that soon too.
Yeah. So chocolate is very important ingredients in our cakes. That's my favorite ingredients, actually, is chocolate. So when I was in Canada, we have chocolates everywhere. It's very accessible. We have a lot of good quality chocolates. So when I started coming back here, I'm doing some classes. I teach pastries as well.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Open to the public or with the school?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Some schools would invite me. I did one SEM for one university, and then I also a lot of do part-times. This was before pandemic. Now I'm actually having a class in June for chocolates.
Fantastic. We can tell everybody about that later too. So guys, if you want to learn from Chef Eli, he will be sharing, he will be sharing where you can enroll and learn from him and spend some time with him in the kitchen.
Yes, yeah. So when I was teaching, these things like the pastries and chocolate, especially when I was in Tacloban, I couldn't find real chocolate, the couverture chocolate. So the difference of couverture and compound chocolate is couverture chocolate is made with cocoa butter and the cocoa solids, which is from cacao.
Yes.
And the compound, which is the one that's very accessible here in the Philippines, is the chocolate substitute.
Yes.
Which is made of cocoa powder and vegetable oil or palm oil. So it's like the cheap chocolate, basically. Yeah. And this is like most chocolates that we consume is actually made of this.
Of compound.
Of compound. And that's why the chocolate has bad reputation that it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Which is actually it's healthy.
Yeah.
If you're consuming in a pure form. So that's why
there's health benefits.
Yes.
Guys, there are health benefits. You can search them
for
sure.
Yeah. So that's why I was so curious about it. I said, why it's hard to find real chocolate?
Yeah.
And I can find cacao in my backyard.
Yes.
Just there growing. Where in Canada, I couldn't find cacao and I could easily find chocolate everywhere.
Right.
So I was so curious about that. That's why in 2019, I bought a farm. I actually started planting my own cacao trees, and I said one day I'm gonna turn this into chocolate, like real chocolate.
You were thinking ahead.
Yes.
You were planning. This was Chef with a plan for his cacao beans. So the cacao beans for the bark.
For the
bark. Is that a bean to bark type of chocolate here that you have created for us?
Yeah. It's actually you can call it bean to bark or tree to bark because it's like freshly harvested from
the tree
in Leyte, and then we ferment it, we dry it, and then we roast it here and process it. So we use it for our chocolate barks, our chocolate. We use it in our yema cacao cake.
Okay.
We use it in our travel cakes.
Yes.
The tablea nut brittle. We use it a lot actually. So my dream is to use 100% Philippine chocolate. And
how's that going? I know, like we talked about Trina Texon. She has true chocolate, right? Yeah. So, hi Trina.
Yes, I'm sure she's watching.
And I know she's very passionate about chocolate as well. I mean, like she really even sometimes does chocolate tastings. Guys, there are so many things you can do with chocolate, obviously.
Yes,
how do you see the Philippine market for cacao growing? Do you see yourself with maybe Trina taking part in it and doing, fun things, not just to educate the farmers, but also lay people about the importance of taking care of these very precious beans.
Yeah. Well, definitely cacao industry in the Philippines is growing. It's been popular for the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, unlike 20 years ago.
Right.
A lot of we now have a lot of local award-winning Philippine chocolate makers.
We do.
And then the dream is take advantage of this popularity of Philippine cacao and turn it into like world-class chocolate products. So we wanted to educate more our farmers and chocolatiers on how to use this precious Philippine cacao.
Yeah.
So we're trying to incorporate it as much as we can in our products.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's actually part of the passion. And when I say meticulously mindful, this is really clear that Chef had a plan when he bought the farm, and he has a plan as he continues to grow this brand and, of course, educate and empower other Filipinos, not just through the desserts that hashtag every day can be made special, right? Every day made special. But, of course, through the opportunities that, this provides for people. We talked about so your gateaux de voyage, right? Which is cake
travel
of
cakes.
Voyage, right?
Yes,
Cake of voyage, gateaux.
Travel cakes.
Travel cakes, right? So these travel cakes, why travel cakes? Why travel?
Well, when we were first thinking of what to offer for our products after our cakes,
Gorgeous.
I was thinking of making eclairs.
Okay.
That's why our brand is called Chocolat.
Yes.
La Chocolat.
Choux
is the
pastry.
choux pastries.
Okay.
And chocolate.
Right.
But some of Janina's friends said we will sell eclairs, and then they said that we want pound cake and banana cake. That's what we want to have coffee with.
Yes.
Like carrot cake and all this stuff. I said, okay, that's a good point. So they said maybe the eclairs might be too sweet, too creamy for us. So that's what they like. So we decided to sell the pound cake with chocolates on top.
Yes.
And then these are called travel cakes because it doesn't have to be like this big of a cake. You just put it in a bag and then
you can
go wherever you want.
Right.
And then when you want a pastry anytime, even if you're traveling, it's very.
You can pull it out.
Yes, you can pull it out. So.
But beyond that, so I think the other thing that I noticed, obviously, is that the flavors and the presentation and the beauty behind each of the cakes, Chef Eli actually takes you on an adventure, right? And it's an adventure through, your experiences with dessert, your experiences with our Filipino ingredients, and so it's a journey. Let's talk about the cake that's here. I know that we showed everybody a little bit when it first was put on the table, but this white chocolate flour, you can choose which cake to put it on.
Yes,
so guys, you can, set it for your mom's preference or even your own. Mom won't know. It'll still be delicious. Tell us about the flour and the different ways you can change things up.
Yes, So we have different flavors of our Entremet cakes. And then we also have 3 different colors for our white chocolate flour. So we have the white flour, and then we have the purple flour, and we also have the red ombre white chocolate flour. So you can choose if you want it in a chocolate cake or in coffee or in yema. And then, so this is handcrafted chocolate.
How long does it take to make the flour like that?
One flour, I would say 20 minutes, half an hour.
By a professional, of course.
Yes,
By a professional. Like, I can't even imagine being able to create such a delicate, chocolate. For it to bend like that, it has to be at a certain temperature. So when you're
making this, you cannot hold the flour for more than 30 seconds.
Because it will melt.
It will melt, So you have to keep moving. So it's very intricate, actually, and that's why it's very special.
Well, I don't know if the camera can see it, but there are little dewdrops.
Yes, yeah.
So that's sugar droplets.
Yes, yeah.
The little dewdrops on this rose. It's so pretty. And it's totally edible.
Yes, it's edible, yeah. So
Fantastic.
it's not like a lot of cakes. Usually it's made of fondant, which is just sugar.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's not yummy to eat.
Yeah. That's why even our wedding cake was actually, it's made of like this, because I said when I usually when I go to weddings,
Yes.
I don't like the fondant cake. I cannot eat it. So this
Yes.
one is made of chocolate. So I like chocolate.
Did you make your own wedding cake?
It's a collaboration between me and my team. You know, it's funny because during our wedding, I was making my cake virtually. I had a guy who's, cutting my hair, and I was on a video call with my team. I was guiding them how to make
it. So you and Giannina got married here.
Here, yes, yeah.
Did you get married in Tacloban, in Leyte?
In St. Therese in Pasay, and then our reception was in Gallery by Chale.
Oh,
It was just family, yeah.
Oh,
Just
how
small, yeah.
nice.
It was pandemic, so.
Yes, I'm sure Chef Chele really appreciates your cakes as well. Tell us about the move to move beyond the pastry shop here. Like you do have other goals and visions for your cakes beyond retail, right? Beyond
Yes.
B2C, beyond business to consumer.
Yes, yeah. We also wanted to help a lot of pastry chefs or bakers. First, what I also do part time, like I said, I teach. I also teach online. I just launched my new class, which is actually the opera gateaux, 2 days ago. So we wanted to empower bakers to create, this world class desserts.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then at the same time, we also wanted to help the bakers to have more access with quality ingredients.
Yeah.
So
I think I need to learn how to use couverture, so
Yes,
I'm going to
yeah.
have to join your class.
Yeah, so that's why I also do chocolate trainings, and then we also sell our tablea chocolate to bakers and pastry chefs.
So where can people check out the classes? Is it on your website, pâtisserie-le-chocolat.com? Or
Not there, actually,
No?
it's in Bailiwick. It's called the Bailiwick Academy.
Okay,
Yes,
Bailiwick.
yeah.
Yes, we've heard of this.
Yeah.
We were actually in Kessler's Kitchen.
Yes, yeah. That's
And
right.
so is that where you're going to be teaching, in Kessler's Kitchen?
Actually, I will be teaching in Kessler Kitchen in June. June 10th.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
guys, flip back a couple of episodes. We were in Kessler's Kitchen. It's a beautiful space. And Chef Eli's going to be teaching you there how to work with chocolate, how
Yes,
to come up with these delicious cakes, delicious entremets. You obviously will be learning from a master, right?
Yes,
so Bailiwick Academy. They can
the
check
Bailiwick
it out.
Academy, yeah. It's a really nice platform. I really like the Bailiwick because we have a lot of home bakers and a lot of moms that didn't have the time to study full time in pastries, and then
Right.
this Bailiwick is so accessible.
Yeah.
When you're at home, you can watch the video and then they turn it into business.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And that's it, right? It's also about empowering others.
Yes.
Tell us about the petit gateaux. Or are you
Yes.
taking it away? Don't take it away. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
How are you?
So this is Joe. Joe is actually our first employee when we started. So it was just Joe and me when we were making cakes.
So it's the two of you. So,
Yeah, so he was-
beyond serving, when you come down to the cafe,
Yes,
he
yeah.
also is helping create the cakes
Yes,
as well.
yeah. So that's where he started, and now he oversees our store here in the Podium.
That's fantastic, Joe. What's your favorite bark?
The 75% of my
Yeah, up here. We like the dark. Okay, tell us about the petit gâteau.
Yes, yeah. So these are the small versions of our Entremet cakes. So you can have these 4 different flavors in one box. So
Set
instead
just
of
like this, so you can
Just
choose
like that,
4
yeah.
different flavors.
yeah, and it's pretty much the same price as the whole cake. So you get 4 different flavors. So this we actually started selling this during Christmas, and it's so popular.
Yes.
So we kept it. So we're still selling it. So if you want it for Mother's Day, it's actually perfect also.
So you have the variety.
Yeah, you have the
So when
variety.
you first opened, I came with Meg, right? I was able to try some of the cakes. And at that time, we were all so excited because we got to try a tasting of everything.
Yes,
Are you still offering tastings?
Yeah. So we still offer it here in the Podium. So it's just here in the Podium that we offer our patisserie plate. We call it patisserie plate because you get different flavors of our gâteau de voyage and our Entremet cakes.
Yes, and so there's a specific order that you should eat them. Educate us on that.
So it starts with the first 3 flavors of our gâteau de voyage that we first launched, and then after that, you will get to try our season 2 of our gâteau de voyage. So we have the calamansi, and then the carrot cake, carrot cream cheese, and then the tablea. And then after trying our gâteau de voyage, you will try the mango magnifique, which is very refreshing, summery flavor. And then the last one is the original cake, chocolate Entremet cake, which is the first product that we launched. So we saved it for last.
Save the best for last. We saved the best for last. So honestly, when I was here, I was trying it with some other foodie friends as well. And it was so difficult for me to choose my favorite.
Yes.
Like each bite really, it just became better and better and better. So for those of you guys that want to try it, you have to reserve 2 days in advance?
Yes,
3 days in advance?
So it's just to make sure that it's fresh. Because we don't keep some here. So it's just for reservation.
So make sure that you can go ahead and if they wanted to do that, could they go ahead and reserve through Instagram or Facebook? So guys, if you want to check them out on Instagram or Facebook, Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat. And the show is CHOUX. That play on the eclairs, the elusive eclairs that didn't make it to the menu. Tell us about the drinks that you're going to serve,
so
and that someone can come and have when they choose to have a piece of cake or some chocolate or the travel cakes.
Just gonna.
So we have the chocolate, we have coffee.
So for our drinks, we have our coffee here that we actually we work with local roasters.
So it's Pinoy coffee.
Pinoy coffee.
It's Pinoy beans.
So, and then we have, our coffee latte, Americano, espresso, cappuccino. We also have our coffee mocha, which is the coffee and our tablea that we mix. And then, of course, our signature chocolate, and then our traditional chocolate. So the traditional it's not, there's not a lot of sugar in it. So we wanted it to be traditional as much as possible. So it's just our tablea. And then hot water.
So it's balanced.
It's balanced, And then we have, and for our signature, it has your usual, what do you call this? Hot chocolate with cream, and then the homemade marshmallows. So we make our own marshmallows.
We love homemade marshmallows. So fun fact for me, I had to figure out how to make homemade marshmallows because jelly. For those of you guys that don't know, regular store-bought marshmallows have so many preservatives and so many different things in them that whenever Jelly would eat marshmallows, she'd get like little irritations on her face. But we all loved marshmallows so much that Gia and I figured out how to make them. It's not easy. You definitely need a mixer. But it's definitely, it's worth the work.
For sure.
So I'm excited. So guys, if you want to come down and try the signature chocolate, of course you will be blessed with a homemade marshmallow made by Chef and his team. We talked about, when we were talking about the ingredients, we were talking about Pinoy flavors, Pinoy talent, Pinoy products, obviously, which leaves us with Pinoy art, right? So if you guys can check out the table here, there's so many artful cakes, and it's not the type of place where they'll say, oh, the cake is really pretty, but it's not so good to eat. This is not the case here. Of course, when you guys come down, expect to be wowed, not just by the beauty of the cakes, but of course by the taste. We went into this discussion because we were talking about elevating and educating, and one of the things that that we were talking about was enlightening, right? And
yes.
encouraging and equipping.
Yes.
I think that's, I think if you're going to take away anything from this brand and this time that we had together here at Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat, that would be the takeaway.
Yes,
If you were to say something to, your younger self 2 years ago when you were starting,
Yes.
what would that be?
Well, I would say there's so much opportunity out there, and there's so much that we can do. For me as a chef, it's not just about making cake.
Right.
We wanted to showcase our skills here with creating these cakes and products, and then that we can actually compete. Like I said, it's not just your normal cake. It's showcasing the talent of my team. Before, 2 years ago, I just want to make a cake, like it's just me making the cake. But now it's different. I said, there's so many things out there and so much opportunities that we can do. It's not about me anymore, it's about my team, and it's about the Philippine flavors that we share to the world. Wow. So it became, how you say this, it's not that simple anymore, that just making pastries. There's so much more that we could do.
It is, and I love that about you and Giannina. Guys, I want to show this to you. How pretty. This is the signature chocolate, right? So this looks like it's good enough to eat with a spoon.
Yes, yeah.
And I think I'm going to, I want to pop that marshmallow in my mouth, but I will wait to do that when we're off cam. So usually, Chef, what we do, when we end each episode, we do a rapid fire. And I didn't tell you any of these questions earlier, because I didn't want you to prepare. I want you to just come in with the first thing that you think of. Thank you. The first thing that you think of, and, no right or wrong answer here. Okay. Who is the biggest kitchen influence in your life?
My dad.
Okay. Favorite food as a kid?
Chocolate cake.
Is it still?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Favorite cuisine as an adult?
Indian food.
Favorite pastime when not baking?
I like to read.
What's the latest book you read?
It's about Starbucks.
Oh, interesting.
The
book?
CEO, how he did this, how operate this business.
How he came to. So I'm reading Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. What is your favorite comfort food?
Actually, I like anything with coconut milk. Yeah, as like a dish, because that's what
savory.
Savory, yes, yeah.
Okay. What color is your kitchen?
White.
What is your signature dish?
I would say it would be the Earl of Grey.
Earl of Grey.
Yes.
Okay. I have to try it, guys.
It's an Earl Grey dessert, actually.
So good. Is that a travel cake or is it an entremet?
It's a plated dessert. That's the one I used when I joined the competition.
Oh,
I did actually when I joined the competition, so it won the best dessert in Alberta. Yeah.
It did?
Yes, yeah.
Where did it win?
In Alberta, in Canada.
Okay. Will you be someday serving it here?
Yeah, hopefully. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys can look for that. Music in the kitchen, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
What's playing?
Sometimes we play French music.
Wow. Two foods that go together but that don't go together.
I'm sorry, say that?
Two foods that go together that don't go together. My perfect example is green mangoes and bagong.
Wow, that's tough. I would say calamansi and chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because normally it's savory. You would have it in savory. It's not usually in sweet or in dessert.
Yeah.
But it's actually good.
Any kitchen or dining accessory that you collect? I collect salt and pepper shakers.
I don't collect.
You don't collect nothing. Knives? Chefs usually like knives.
I have a lot of knives actually.
Hand blender,
I have
emulsion blender.
I have Damex hand blender, which
Yeah.
is yes, actually,
Yeah.
I have 6 of them.
There you go. What's the name of that blender?
It's called Damex.
Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
your post about that. What's your go-to lazy dinner when you're going to cook? Like super lazy.
Fried rice.
Yeah. You're on the sofa watching movie. What's on your snack board?
Oh, potato chips.
What's one ingredient in your kitchen that you cannot live without?
Chocolate.
What's one kitchen gadget that you can't live without?
The Damex actually.
Max,
Yes.
are you watching?
Damex.
Are you watching?
It's actually it's true. Yeah, since I started in pastry,
Walang biro.
that's
It's
my
really
favorite
what
tool.
you
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
Favorite food memory as a child?
Pandesal.
Hot, fresh.
Hot pandesal. I had raw pandesal when I was probably 3 or 4 years old. I couldn't forget that. Yeah.
Raw? So you ate it raw?
Raw, yeah. Because I didn't know it was like it has to be baked. Yeah. Yes.
The beginnings of Chef Eli. Savory or sweet?
Savory.
Wow,
Yeah.
savory, even though he has all these desserts here. Milk or dark?
Dark.
Up here for dark.
Yes.
Spicy or sour?
Spicy.
Noodles or rice?
Rice.
Nilaga or sinigang?
Nilaga.
Tapa or tocino?
Tapa.
Thank you for playing along with
Yes.
me. So guys, that's going to wrap our episode. We spent so much fun time here with Chef Eli here at Pâtisserie Le Choux-Colat. Of course, if you guys want to come down, come visit him at the Podium. He also has a new branch in Molito in Alabang. So for all of those Southerners, you guys can go ahead and check it out. I know Eileen Gonzalez, when you saw me post about the cakes, you said you were going to go to Molito. So make sure you go by and tell them the Kitchen 143 sent you. Guys, this is Michelle Aventajado. Keep cooking, keep sharing, and of course, keep safe as you go out there and enjoy meals with your friends. Bye-bye.
Thank you.